Testing, testing. Testing, testing. We are live at 5. Too early. Let's see what they got for me today. What's all that about?
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said. Good morning Stick R2 and the chat Red Heart.
What it do? Woke up too early. I guess one of the mornings where ain't got too much gotta do or catch up on. So I felt like a little driving today. Hope everything is running smooth on your end. Shout out to the chat.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said. I just got home from work.
Oh we with the sunrise. That may be some good sleep for you. Hope they didn't work you too hard. How the audio sounding? On my end, it sound pretty good, but when you go live, things tend to happen.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said. It sounds pretty good on my end.
Appreciate that. That view is pretty though.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said. They worked enough and I go back in tonight. I'm holding the line. I got you.
I appreciate that. I don't really think too many people gonna stop in. Everybody headed to work, but I just feel like getting on today and seeing what the day bring. Go have some limes later on and wake up and charge up. And I got a couple shirts to print out and press. Um, some people that wanted a few shirts told me to get to them when I get to them, so I guess I gotta get to them. But I appreciate everything though. It's been a rough week. Not really rough, but a lot of things going on, so
Go straight on. That's right.
it's just the vibes in the morning time, I guess. I know one thing. I got a few subs the other day. People reached out and said they, sub to the channel, but them numbers be funny, so that's why I don't even trip no more. Like I've been at 338, 339 for 2 months. It's crazy. I was in a few chats with you, the people you was watching, and people that hit me up, and nothing. So
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said, congratulations clapping hands medium dark skin tone party popper clapping hands medium dark skin tone party popper.
excuse me if y'all hear me sipping my coffee this early. Real coffee drinkers drink when they off of work too.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said, I hear ya on that.
I know you gotta hold the line, but not too many mods that I got going on, So if you gotta run, you gotta run. But this just kind of just a freestyle, I guess. See who come through, see who don't come through. Who knows what the road may bring? See how dark it is? It really be like that too sometimes when you drive a truck. You don't know what's gonna come out in front of you. That's kind of like how life is, though. I done saw some crazy things on the road.
Go straight on. That's right.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said, is real pitch dark.
That's how it be. Especially when you up in the mountains and way out up in the air. That's exactly how it be. And I was just talking to my doctor the other day about the health of a truck driver. And she was like, I know. We can't eat nothing because everything stick. Literally. In and out of the truck. They keep us on the road for 10, 12 hours a day. I mean, you make decent money, but not really active either. So when you get off, try to go to the gym.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said, you always going to have pitch dark areas in your life, you just have to overcome them and maneuver through them.
Now that's big facts. You gotta conquer it, right? No other choice. Gotta keep going. You have to. They get better at the end, though.
Pretty Hard THA Conqueror, said. This looks really cool.
Yeah, it has its moments. It's fun. Well, I know yesterday after being away from the computer, updates and you know things like that tend to
And
go
then exit right.
left. And you like I ain't even touched the thing and it's still messed up. So I guess that kind of is a reflection on how life is sometimes. You can be doing everything right, moving and grooving like you're supposed to. Stuff still gonna happen, but when it's up, you get to enjoy it. I had to delete a few apps and reinstall it, so
Turn right.
most people think it's easy, but it has its moments. I'm a first person shooter type of person though. Got some more games I actually want to play on here, so we're gonna see how that turn out. I may actually get one today. I do gaming just to clear my head, get away from things. I was kind of offended the other day, and this to anybody that's listening in the bushes. Since I've been in the shirt game, developing skills, learning new things, and I talk to people outside of the YouTube face to face. I say probably half will really believe like, you know, you got good quality. And then the other half it'd be like, I'm gonna get a shirt, Not that I'm pressed on everybody getting a shirt, but this ain't no shot to my brother, but I was doing some logos for him and he's a DJ. Make good money. And I had like I said, I had all these orders and stuff to get out. So he had hit me up, and when I finally got to his work yesterday, he was like, "Oh, them shirts the real deal." I got kind of offended, but it was like kind of a compliment at the same time. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this just for fun. I'm the type that I'm not finna go spend millions of dollars on brands when I am a brand, when I can make my own design." You know, that's how Gucci and Prada and Louis, all that stay, popping because we put our dollars behind that. And there ain't nothing wrong with it. You want to look fly, let other people material, go right ahead. But, not too many people, but enough have said, "Oh, this shirt really is, yeah." Not finna come out here and just say some big patch on the fabric. He was like, "Oh, man, I'm finna have to." I said, "Yeah, go to the website, you know." But every conversation shouldn't be "Oh, I'm gonna get a shirt, I'm gonna get this," but I ain't, people that know me, I'm gonna give 100%. And the ones that got their shirts, I put my last penny on it that it's still good quality. So, I don't know, yesterday, like I said, it didn't rub me wrong, but it was just like, what were you believing before I actually showed you up close? Why? And like I said, this ain't no shot to him, but the community, it'd be like we go to a Walmart or we go to a Macy's or Burlington Coat Factory or wherever that may be that you shop. You don't be like, "Oh, Burlington got some real good clothes, huh?" Or Macy's, I mean, for wherever you shop, you don't pull in the owner to see, oh, like, "Oh, you really make some good stuff." It's only when we get around our people we be side eyeing. Like that's that crab in the bucket mentality. I'm not gonna give you something that I wouldn't wear.
Pretty hard THA Conqueror, said. Basically in a way he was trying to say you wasn't the real deal, but once he saw for himself that's when he was convinced.
That part, it's like I don't know. You really see, and like I say, I love my brother to death, but this is just people in general. I see on the daily. They be like, they be scared, be like, oh, I'm gonna get a shirt. I didn't even come in the store for that. I didn't even come in your live for that, your chat for that. You ain't gotta impress me. I know what I'm capable of.
Pretty hard THA Conqueror, said. You shut him down LOL.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't my intent, but at the same time, like you say, it's like, what was you thinking beforehand? I don't try to get away too much of the sauce, but at the same time, that's an investment. That's not some thing I picked up on the side and said, oh, I'm gonna do this. No, that's the real deal. I gotta touch that printer every day. The maintenance on it is crazy. But people don't want to pay for that. They want to, oh, bro, I ain't got it right now. Let me, I'm gonna get back to you, you know. But when you going into that department store, you don't tell them that. And this is the funny thing. So when I broke the shirt down to him, how it, helps me to print the way that I print. He was like, oh, that's the real deal. I said, yeah. He said, I said, what shirt you got? He had on, I think it was a Venom shirt, a little comic shirt, some shirt he had on. And I said, where you get that from? I think he said Timu or Sheen somewhere. We get the little graphic tees. And I said, that shirt right there. He said, yeah, it's the same way. I said, duh. I'm trying to tell you. But I don't know. Just keep moving forward, I guess. Folks can go out and spend X amount of dollars. I'll never talk to the owner, the CEO. Get they merch and walk out the door. And the sad thing is,
I keep left there.
whatever the design or whatever it is that me and the customer envision, I can make it happen. Yeah, hopefully we going the right way. But yeah, I done came a long, long way.
Pretty hard THA Conqueror, said. Point blank period, if you want good quality stuff you have to pay the price, don't complain. Pretty hard THA Conqueror, said. My honest opinion.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. People wanna, as a entrepreneur, you starting off, you want your product out there, so of course you're gonna give some stuff away for free. Samples. I used to go to the grocery store back in the day, and they used to have them little samples with the toothpicks in them. That's kind of how I did my first season, on YouTube. And matter of fact, the last couple shirts, the promises I made, they getting them free. But this ain't that no more. I'd rather start designing for myself. But not one person I gave a shirt to had anything bad to say, other than, the little minute stuff of, oh, maybe should have moved the design over a little bit this or a little bit that. But other than that,
Go straight on. That's right.
just gotta stay with the grind, stay, up and creating. Matter of fact, I got some stuff I'm gonna do today. I got some shirts and stuff that I haven't even put out there yet. But I see you've been moving and grooving though. I see you've been grinding. Congratulations on the job. You know, getting on your feet, pushing. Not a lot of people can really show reality on social media. But it's the ones with the real content that tends to get overlooked. We so used to toxicity and you know all that negativity. But shout out to you though, for real. You stuck in there and spoke your truth, held your truth, cried your truth. It's people watching. That's what I've learned. It's always somebody in the background watching. Maybe you inspiring them, motivating them, and they don't have the courage to come up and say anything to you, but just know somebody is always watching. I don't care if it's for your failures, for your success, somebody is always watching. When you do it for performance, it's gonna seem kind of vague, you be looking over your shoulder, looking at them numbers. Ain't nobody in this chat. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? But it's what I like to do. Most people don't know I drive in real life, so when you know why you're doing certain things, just that one person is enough. I think I had about 2 seconds of daylight. I'm trying to make this 40,000 tough.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said, "Thank you very much for telling me that. I truly appreciate it, and all I want to do is help people. That's what I love to do, and tell my true story." Pretty Heart THA Conqueror said, "And life experiences." Pretty hard tha conqueror. Said. Well, I'm going to get me some sleep, but you stay strong, do your thing, I believe in you.
Shout out to you for sure. Appreciate that. And if I'm up, I might do a little longer extended live. I normally don't drive too long, but I catch you, hold it down. Make sure you stay true to yourself. Hey, that's all you can do. But salute. Thank you for holding the line down, and we gonna keep it moving. Got my coffee, got my music in the background. We good.
Pretty hard tha conqueror. Said. Salute and respect, Red Heart.
Recomputing.
definitely wasn't my fault. Y'all saw that. Even the game don't want you to win.
Go straight on. That's right. Go straight on. That's right. Never mind, sugar. I'll find us a new route.
There goes the neighborhood. Why I had a feeling like that was gonna happen. Be surprised if another one coming. As if he didn't see me turn.
Nisabu underscore new 2
What's
said,
up? What's up?
be careful folded hands.
I was just trying to. When I really be up here in the mountains, that view be crazy beautiful. So I just tried to share a little bit. I had a feeling everything was going too smooth. That was gonna happen. But thank you for stopping by. I will. that quiz you gave the other day. Um, I have a hard time keeping up with everything that's going on, but that quiz, that cooking quiz, you gave the cooking quiz. If I jumped in so many videos yesterday, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you did give a cooking quiz. That was very informational. When you really be up there driving, you really do see views like that.
Nisabu_new2 said, yes I did and have a lot more questions to come.
Oh yes, if you don't know how to cook, you learned a few things watching that video. That was very informative for real. I like to cook too. I just haven't showed that side of me on my channel, but yeah, I sat there. I was like, that's what's up. People just, if they take the time out to watch, they may learn a thing or two, right?
Nisabu_new2 said, it's for everyday people that want to cook at home.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely will be tuning in for more tips and the real answers. You know, I always have a thing. I've been learning to keep my recipes and things. You know, it's the stuff you create. I just never have a pen and
Go
paper
straight on.
when I'm in my cabinet, and it's like, oh, it was so good, but you try to go back to recreate it, it'll never be the same. So I got a couple recipes I've written down, have in the cabinet, so I will definitely be tuning in. But yeah, I just decided to come on live today. I really kind of caught up on a lot of things that I've been working on, so a couple days I have off, I gotta enjoy my time. My son is here from Arizona, so we hung out last night to 2, 3 in the morning. Everybody's asleep, so why not get on and make some money?
Nisabu_new2 said, thank you for your professional opinion, folded hands.
I'm nowhere near you at, but I definitely can cook, and I appreciate you for sure. I just, you know, it's kind of hard for me to tune in.
Nisabu_new2 said, I seen your t-shirt making live.
I appreciate that. I definitely do. But I try to make my rounds when I can, and um, I was able to tune in and learn a few things. So I definitely appreciate you. Yeah, I didn't even it's breast cancer awareness month, which I knew, but it's also domestic violence. So I was thinking about doing a piece on domestic violence and kind of shedding some light to the topic. I didn't know it was the same ribbon. I'm sure I don't know the color, but I didn't know that. Thought was not interesting, but I don't really hear too much talk
Keep right,
about it.
and then turn right. Turn right.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, I'm a DV survivor.
Well, definitely shout out to you for surviving, and you know things is it's gonna always get better, and just just even bring that up and talking to a survivor, my hat goes off. I've witnessed a few things in my growing up, and I don't respect that at all. That's not cool at all, and it's a coward. Somebody think they can put their hands on you.
Turn left.
I definitely don't respect that. But shout out to you though. You know what? I may do a little feature for you, just for you tuning in. Throw your logo up there, and yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure if your contact information is in the on your channel,
Turn right.
but if it isn't, mine is, and I'm gonna be reaching out to you. I mean, we don't have to do a live, we don't have to be seen, but you know, I just the fact that I didn't know, and feeling a little generous today, so
It's all over now.
you get one on me.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, I thank God every day for being alive.
Well, it definitely is a blessing, because I'm sure probably don't make it out, or not in their right headspace, and you know have traumas and things that they're probably not healed from. So I don't, like I say, I don't take that topic too lightly. Um, so shout out to you for real. Just seeing you push and grind, and not one to want to jump in the spotlight. You've been consistent with your content, and I appreciate that. You've always shown up, you know, and sometimes it's not about, oh, you show up, I show up, but I know the ones that really pull through, and you definitely are one. So I'm sure it's people in your life now that appreciate you, and or that you can tell really appreciate you. Your good heart and spirit. So like I said, I've been on the channel a few times checking you out, and um, definitely cooking is the way to the heart, and you definitely be doing your thing. Let's see how much satisfactory. They gave me a satisfactory. Took 4,000 from me. I still take it.
Nisabu_new2 said, I've met so many awesome people here on YT.
I need to hang with you then, cause some of the people I'm meeting, boy, I just try to stay in my lane now. But YouTube has definitely taught me a lot. Um, especially with going live and the stage fright that I've had growing up, where I didn't talk in large crowds, and I've overcome that fear doing it, through social media, and the fact that I've always worked for someone else my whole life. I never really took the time to build for me, and I'm doing that now. I'm not. Well, you said you was in the live, but everything is moving in a forward direction, and just being able to do a live and bounce back from the hiccups that you get along the way. Um, I was watching Tiff Take's video this morning, and she had to adjust doing her vlog October. So YouTube is not for the weak. You can get caught up in the mess, community to community, or you finally get monetized and you get that check.
Nisabu_new2 said, OMG, I was always terrified of people growing up.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I mean, from being a little kid to, I mean, almost to now, it's just stage fright. Talking in front of a mic. But now I have a chance to talk in front of a little small sector of 30 people at times. But I mean, it's fun. Definitely allowed me to grow and meet some cool people. I know you've always kicked it with us late night with Hustle and Me Too, and that's why I say you always showed up. So people that's sleeping on you, that's maybe watching in the bushes, like, this is a sweet lady right here, and I'll take my handful of people that really rock with me than trying to go out and you know
Nisabu_new2 said, smaller chats are more fun. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
it is, especially when you can relate and just chill. We can get caught up in that scrolling, and you know that scrolling will lead you to the cliff, and you be depressed, wondering why, you frustrated. And so yeah, the small community that tends to stop through. Pretty Hearts was in here earlier holding it down. Matter of fact, hold on 1 second. I am going to make you a mod. So I just made you a mod, and it's not mod for mod or none of that, but you definitely been holding it down, and I appreciate you.
Nisabu_new2 said, partying face, partying face, partying face, partying face.
So I don't see your information. I'm on your channel right now. So just if you can, if you want that offer for the shirt, I definitely will do that for you, and we'll go from there. You can just send me an email with information. I can contact you, and I'll send you some designs and whatnot, and pick the color of the shirt, and if you want, I can do a feature.
Nisabu_new2 said, you need email.
Yeah, I need the email. I was just on your page and I didn't see it in the bio.
Nisabu_new2 said, hey, whatever you have time for.
Yeah, so if you could just email me and we'll get to it. I'm gonna take me a quick coffee break, refill my cup up. If you're not here when I get back, have a great day. And definitely appreciate you for stopping through, but I'm gonna take a 10-second break here and refill my cup up real quick.
Mr. Mulatto 365 said, Sticks, what's good bro, red heart, red heart, red heart. Mr. Mulatto 365 said, new 2 victory hand, medium light skin tone, red heart, folded hands, medium light skin tone. Mr. Mulatto 365 said, pretty victory hand, medium light skin tone, red heart, folded hands, medium light skin tone. Nisabu_new2 said, waving hand, waving hand, waving hand.
Look like we got Mr. Mulatto in the building. I don't know if he left already, but had to go refill a cup of coffee. Shout out to you. Big respect for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And what I just found out the other day is also Domestic Violence Month awareness. We had a couple people that's survivors that's in the chat, so shout out to them. But got caught up on a few things that I had always been working on. So got an off day, felt like vibing, driving, see who pull up, see who don't. We're gonna keep going anyway though. But shout out to those that have stopped through. Pretty Heart, the Conqueror, Nisabu. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. And Mr. Mulatto. may take another drive. I'm just really trying to get out of debt. Started this game back with Hustle and Me Too, who a lot of people sleeping on right now. That lady is very talented, just as well as everyone else that's in the chat and watching. But special shout out to Me Too because she does her thing for sure. But those people have blew past me, so I had 3 loans out. They took my truck, didn't know how to drive, didn't have enough time to really sit back and enjoy it. So as soon as I get out of debt, going to go get my garage and get a few trucks on deck. So we just gonna vibe and drive.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, I'm sending you my email.
Yeah, and we gonna make that happen. I got one, 2 shirts to print today. They've already been drawn up, and I'm gonna see what we come up with. And I definitely will be glad to.
Let's get going.
I know when I started the last mission, they had me come out of here and almost cause the wreck. So we gonna see. Maybe we can crack 100,000 a day. Alrighty, let's get this show on the road.
Well, get ready to turn left. Turn left. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, so, do I send email to website?
That email goes directly to me. So put your contact information in, but just put your size shirt, and we can do a color after you see the design, and we can exchange contact information there, or we can do it through the email, and I will send you a few designs and which one you like. Once we get that picked out, then we'll go ahead and get it sent off. and go from there. Yep. We'll go from there. Generally takes about, I think, maybe about a week for shipping. And then if you have any logos or anything in mind that you want printed, just let me know. I'll skim the page to come up with some ideas. It's pretty much nothing really that I can't print, but far as legal stuff, you know, big brands, images like that, I have to refrain from. But other than that, we'll talk.
Nisabu_new2 said, I've been on YouTube for a year now, but only in gossip channel chats until I found out I could have my own channel.
Yeah, I started I started a channel I think back in 20 or 2003. I thought I could be a content creator, and I tried a few things and I didn't last a month. And I used to scroll and scroll and watch and clear my history, try to keep it clean, and just found myself always on the wrong pages, getting wrong info. You know, we know how that goes, but I just decided to do something, and I've been on YouTube, well, taking it more serious, I guess, in since February. So I literally had to learn computers. I had to learn. I have a natural talent of drawing, and I can draw. But when I came up drawing, we had pen and paper and tissue, and we had to use what we had for, utensils. And so I, at my big grown age, decided to go back to my craft because it brought me peace. And now we're here. And when I say since February, I didn't own a laptop, but I had access to a computer. I had the basics down, but I had to learn everything all over again. Got a laptop, upgraded from a laptop to a desktop, the whole nine. So my journey on YouTube, it was very quick, and the growth, as far as just quality wise, was very quick. Trying to shoot videos and working 10, 12 hours a day, still smelling like gas, and trying to set up a camera for late night shots and vlogging, and got a mentor, and they did the best they could, and just wasn't comfortable behind the camera. But again, I overcame a fear. I think I did a video. I had a red mic. I still have it, but it's just a lot of progress on my channel. My videos from February to now. When we tend to go back and look and see how far we came. I was not comfortable at all, and I still have ways to go. So for me to sit there and break down on the live and be emotional, that's huge. And it's only more to come, but hopefully I met some cool people along the way and off the app, and that's generally, like, when you make it off the app and you can communicate with the people you've met, that's when it's certified to me. But I've come a long way from vlogging to going back to my talent, and then it's like once you get to doing things and you're in that headspace of peace where you're not distracted, or you're not just scrolling, or you take time to really relax. It's when you have ideas, you come up with things you may want to try. And I met a person that
Nisabu_new2 said,
I had to watch traffic.
my first couple of videos are POO pile of poo grinning squinting face.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Y'all see this accident? I'm going straight though. But yeah, and so I met a brother, Hustle. A lot of people may have whatever they want to say about him, but that's a cool dude. That's my brother. But he showed me a few things, and it aligned with what I like to do. I actually drive truck in real life, so you know. But yeah, it's just amazing how you can go back and look at your old videos and was like, wow, that was me. So I feel like I already won. I'm not really chasing monetization. It's more of me having fun, coming on here, sharing my talents, being able to motivate and encourage and push the next person. But but the ones that are chasing it, I do what I can to support and help. And we'll all get there if it's meant. I don't allow that to dictate, because I think I got maybe 300 watch hours, and I've been at these subs forever. I had like maybe 4 people that subbed to me in the last 2 days, and my number stayed the same. So I try not to just get caught up in all of that and just do what it is that I like to do, and I let everything else take care of itself.
Nisabu_new2 said, I also work full-time and babysit my 2 grandsons, so late night is when I can unwind.
Yeah, I definitely respect those that can come on here and still maintain a regular life. That is very hard. At times it's frustrating, but that's the beautiful thing when you can do it peacefully. Like you say, you meet cool people along the way, so me, since I've moved here, and I don't really go out much, so to sit and chop it up with people, it's pretty cool. But like you say, you can't get caught up in the wrong crowd and the wrong side of YouTube. And the side, when I first started, it was like, I saw all the videos, you're almost there. If you do this right, you want to grow this way. And mean, it's informational for what you can get from it, but at the same time, you know, be yourself. And it seems like nowadays everybody wants you to be in a certain type of box, but we all have our own individuality. Also,
Nisabu_new2 said, I live in a rough neighborhood so I don't go outside period.
yeah, I definitely understand that. Definitely. But sometimes what I've learned is like the people that's in the community, especially the women, sweetheart, you know, caring, the neighborhood tends to look out for those. But, you know, we have I want to say, not the National Guard, but they have deployed them in Memphis. And crime is definitely slowed down. I would definitely say that. Every person that's getting pulled over now, um, there's always an unmarked car behind the officer, and we know who that is. So definitely, hopefully, where you're at, they will get it under control. And this time out for all of the nonsense killing and the stuff that's been going on. But yeah, when I was in that sector of YouTube, it just kind of felt like it always had me discouraged. Like, oh, I was one click away from this, or, oh, I'm in the car lane. I gotta back up. See if they'll let me. Oh, see that white car right there? There's another one. Make you just want to run over the cones. Go ahead. Up. I gotta do it. Going over the cones. I would not recommend doing this in real life, but that sector of YouTube kind of had me discouraged. Trying different things, and then you realizing it's taking you out of who you are and what that you want to do. And they always say be authentic self, but then they got every answer for you to do this and do that for more likes and views, and I just got lost. Not that it even helped me doing this now.
Nisabu_new2 said, reminds me of being in the ferry line.
Yep. That's where they make their money at, though, in real life. They pull you over, inspect, and all of that. So truck drivers got it real hard. We get it's our fault. We're late. It's our fault. We're overweight. It's our fault. Our mental is off. It's our fault. Everything. But they still want you to be on time. They still want you to deliver, right? When I was in Arizona, it really did look like this, though. That's the thing why I like this game so much is because places I've been, it really do look like this. There's another way station. So what's some of the things that you like to cook? Like, I know I don't attend every live and video, but
Nisabu_new2 said, I've always wanted to be a mechanic, I grew up around it lots.
it's never too late. It is never too late. Truck mechanics make really good money too. They have a lot of programs out now. Diesel mechanics is what they call them, but it's never too late. Why not? What you got to look, well, if you get the time, I say why not?
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. Arthritis won't allow it loudly crying face.
You know, I used to, when I would hear someone talk about that, I would, kind of not really understand because I hadn't experienced it. But my son is in town, and I had some stuff that I had to do yesterday in the yard. I had to pull up the mulch and put new mulch paper down. I'm not sure what they call it, but I had to relay the black tarp over it and, de-weed. And if he wasn't there to help me, I don't know what I would have did. But I woke up this morning, my feet and ankles and shins was burning. I said, wow. And I'm pretty active, but sad. I think it has something to do with like the climate.
Nisabu underscore new 2.
Climate we live in.
Said. I'm a certified grill master, so I love to cook steaks and burgers. Hamburger drooling face.
I before I came to YouTube, I did the carnivore diet, which was really fun, but it's not too expensive, but I had really started understanding how to cook a steak, and I've baked, I've thought I knew how to pan fry, all of that, but doing that diet, I used to get ribeyes, and a friend of mine, he may pop in here, but he's a chef, and he told me this trick. He said, because I didn't really understand cooking in a cast iron, but he said get your grease, and I'll start using. I used to render my own fat from the pork. You know, the slab of fat you can buy at the butcher, and I used to cook it down, and then I used to bottle it, and put it in the refrigerator, and use it as needed. But he was like, get you a cast iron, and I had to get the proper oil, and when it sears, when it gets at the right temperature, he said drop your steak in there, and he said let it be. He said the minute that it releases, you're good to go. And I said, what you mean? He said it's just like a sore almost. He said when you're searing something, once it's done searing, it'll release. So you just move it a little bit, and once you're able to move it, do the other side, and then a second or two, keep flipping it, and then you're done. And I tell you, I feel like I perfected steaks every time. I have a Blackstone, and that's what I used to go out and cook every morning. Was 2 steaks, couple of eggs, and some bacon, and I would eat on that through the whole day, literally, and would be full. Diet was good. You have to try it, and I mean, you got your own opinion about it as far as digestive tract, but I didn't have any problem. But steaks I have learned to love. I didn't know that about rendering the fat for your grease. It lasts longer. They call it liquid gold.
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. Pan seared is good too.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That sounds like you just downplayed my whole experience. How do you like to cook your steaks? I've put them in the smoker too. They're good that way. I actually prefer to smoke than to cook over direct heat. Put the thermometer in there and let it go. I've learned not to be one of those ones that every 5 seconds go out and check you know, your meat. You lose the smoke, you lose the heat. So I bought a vertical stack smoker, and I
Nisabu
love
underscore
cooking
new
on
2 said, did you eat greens behind your protein?
it. I did not. I did not. But I had no problem going to the restroom because the fat that's in the meat actually it's something that you have to do your research on for sure. I have no bad things to say about it. It's very enjoyable because you get to eat bacon, you get to eat cheese. You know, it's a carnivore diet. And they say, yeah, we're not built to digest meat and this, that, and the third. But it was just fun to try. Would I do it again? Probably not. Um, I will go back to raw foods. And I did it for maybe a year. So you gonna tell your secret way to cook a steak?
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, the secret is in the seasoning and how you let it rest.
I keep left there.
That is so true. That is so true. They said it actually releases and then it, I guess, absorbs the juices again. So once you let it rest, that is so true. I forgot about that because I used to want to cut it all the time. And it's like, nope, because it has to cook a little more. Seasoning, I would do just salt and pepper. I used to back in the day try to put this and try to put that. I did garlic and onion pepper as well, or powder. That was some good old cooking though in the mornings. I think I might get to that. I actually, once I moved, I didn't open my Blackstone back up. When my dad was here, I was supposed to treat the cast iron again and get it back running. I think I might do that because the mornings I love to cook on the Blackstone.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, have you ever heard of sous vide?
I have not.
I keep left there.
Is that a style of cooking or is that a particular food?
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said. Yes, I'll give you a definition.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
I have a question. Do you have a book, like an ebook? Have you ever thought about doing? If you don't have one, thought about getting one started?
Nisabu underscore new 2 said. A method of cooking food, especially meat or fish, by vacuum sealing and immersing in warm water.
I've heard of that before. Now that you mentioned it and I understand what you're talking about, I've heard that before, but I have not tried it.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said. I was trying to start one.
I can give you some information. I'll give it to you through the email on stuff you can do for your ebook. If you want to start one, it's very simple. My wife actually,
I keep
um,
right there.
I don't know why she'd be scared to get on here, but she did an ebook in 3 days. So I do know a route you can go to have your digital product. So I will definitely send you that in the email when I respond. It'll show you how to lay your pages out, um, decorate, your book, your pages, however you want them laid out, and then to be a digital file for you. But yeah, I heard of that method. So you vacuum seal it raw and cook it. So that's you probably have to let that steak marinate to get the real flavor. I like the crust a little bit, so I have to look into that because I did hear about it, but I never really tried it. How hot does the water have to be?
Nisabu underscore new 2 said. I have a unique story because I'm a survivor of opioid epidemic, hurricanes, and DV.
You know,
I keep
I
right
didn't
there.
want to mention that, um, but I mean, we hang around some of the same people. But I was telling Hustle because you've always showed up. You've always, you know, been around. And I said, let me check her out. And when I looked at your story, because I can relate to some of the things you've been through, glitching must be talking the truth, uh, freezing up. But I saw your story on your channel, um, some of your shorts, and I was touched. I was like, wow, you would have never been able to tell, And that's why I say big shout out to you for real, because I promise you, I was just telling Hustle that the other day. You know, we always see people in the chat and, you know, welcome them in and thank you this and thank you that. And I took time out to go to your page. I was like, wow, I would have never thought. So, weather related stuff, I can't too much relate. I was in Texas for a couple years and they got some crazy tornado weather. But no, well, here, maybe summer, last summer. No, the matter of fact, this summer, I had tornadoes touch down probably 5 miles away from where I was at. And interesting thing I learned about them is it's not the tornado that passed, it's where it comes back to. Because I didn't know tornadoes come back the direction that they pass. Not the full direction, but they have a tendency to, once they pass, they can come backwards. So having to go from watching the news, and I grew up in the snow, and here in the South, they watch storm chasers. It's like, what? And I'm watching the news, and it's like they'll tell you minutes before, you need to go take cover now, like, and they really mean it. So that was interesting, but it's also devastating to see.
Nisabu_new2 said, 10 years.
Sorry if you hear me drinking my coffee, but that is amazing. That is amazing. I didn't deal with everything that you went through, but definitely double digits. And you know, that's no one will understand the fight and the toughness and the grit and the self building you have, the building of self that you have to do to get up out of that. You know, everybody can want it for you, but you have to want it for yourself. And all it takes is consistency, just determination. Get back up. You fail, get back up. You fail, you get back up. You'll reach a point where you just had enough. And you know, it does take a community to help, but shout out to you, because I know kind of what you've been through, and that's not for the weak. People could say, oh, just put it down, just stop this or stop that. No, okay. Well, just stop gossiping, stop
Nisabu_new2
stop
said,
shopping, all of that.
sorry, 10 years of addiction, 1 year sober.
Yep. Yep, 2019 for me. Yep. So I definitely understand. I wear it with a badge because it made me who I am today. And it made you who you are right now. But I hate it when people can point the elephant in the room because it's easier to talk about. How about we unlock what you have going on? Talk about what you've been through. And then let's see if you had the same temperature. When people counted you out, you know. Yeah, that's a hopefully I'll be able to share that one day. But that battle is not easy. And you know what, truth be told, I'm gonna say this, and hopefully I don't get flagged or anything or anybody come after me, but it's more people that are using than not.
Nisabu_new2
Over the counter,
said,
under the counter.
always a battle, but just have to keep pushing through it.
And that's a fact. That is a fact. But it's a lot of people out here that are doing it, you know, over the counter, and they have a prescription. So, you know, I just hate it when they talk down to people that, you know, have been through that. I hope that was not my, no, that's not my turn. But I hate it because it's not easy. But, you know, until you unpack that trauma, that thing that changed you from that child to where life started to hit you. Once you unpack that little area right there, you're able to understand a little more. At least for me, that's what helped a whole lot. Some things I didn't understand, but you know, every day, it's not that you've overcome it, it's every day you keep fighting. You keep fighting because the thoughts be there, but you know, you have to remember. As my boys say, you gotta remember, which is true because it wasn't until
Nisabu
I knew
underscore
my
new
worth
2
and went back and did
said,
some healing.
they want to judge the ones without a prescription.
But yes, I gotta tune in more because you are so funny. But it's true though, it's very true. But everybody, and here's the thing, everybody has an addiction to something. You can have addiction to sugar, shopping, judging, many things. But like I say, it's easy to point the finger at the big person in the room. Oh, they're this and they're that. Some of the people that's going through is actually wiser than the people that aren't, and will give you the shirt off their back. That's what killed me. It'd be like, you want to judge that person, but that person's sweeter than you. You don't know what that person been through in life.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, exactly, my sister weighs over 400 pounds.
Yeah, and that I was talking to my doctor the other day, and it's really hard for us drivers not to gain weight, because we sitting down 3-4 hours at a time to and from, destination to destination, and it's hard, and I think a lot of times, social media, not all social media, but just the narrative that's pushed, it's so hard to eat a clean diet, stay on it. There's so much sugar, and even when they say zero sugar, it's still sugar in it. So, are we really getting away from it? And my nickname growing up was Fat Dude all the time, and I got tired of it. And that's when I lost 190, 100, what's it, 190 pounds? 180, 190 pounds in 2 years. I had to take control, so it's hard.
Nisabu underscore new 2 said, but you're moving around, she's not motivated enough.
I think she probably have to look into self and be honest with herself. Definitely, because it was lack of belief for me. I didn't think I was good enough. Insecurities and things of that nature that I had to deal with.
Keep right, and then exit right. Finding a new route.
But I've fallen off the treadmill
Keep
before.
left,
I didn't
and
know
then turn left.
how to run. Well, I didn't say I didn't know how, but I couldn't run. And I just kept walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. Had a treadmill in my basement, and I finally got on it and was determined, and my walk got faster and turned into the run. And I was like, yo, I'm back running again. It's the little things like that that brings you joy. It's the small goals that you hit. But yep, definitely been down that lane. I was an emotional eater.
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. I can't see her because she'll take advantage of the situation.
She'll play into the guilt or the fact that you can cook. Or are you a softy, which I think you are? Not like that, but you know, good-hearted person.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. All of the above.
I get it. I definitely get it. At times it was hard for me to even just talk about my weight loss, and you know, people thought I was cocky and I was this and I was that. So I get it. It's like an what they call them, enablers.
Go straight on. That's right.
Yo, if a train is coming, you see that? I knew that was gonna happen. She knew it.
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. She wants to sit around and gossip, not about that life anymore.
Yeah, that's a negative. That's a waste. It's a waste. It don't get you anywhere. Brings negativity and stress, and I was doing that live yesterday on breast cancer, and that was one of the things that um, allows it to take shape is stress. And you know, a lot of people didn't know that we have the cancer cells, so a lot of that stuff is already in us, and you know, what we put in is what we get out.
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. Low vibrational.
That's facts. The energy never lie. People think that's just a catchy quote, but it doesn't.
Go straight on. That's right.
Do you think that she'll eventually get it, or you think she's kind of giving up?
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. The tongue is mightier than the sword dagger.
That is true. That is true. I didn't always use it appropriately, but that is true. That's why this time around, it's like I have no other choice but to win. You gotta speak those things, so that is true. You say I'm always say I'm broke. Well, you gonna be broke. A couple times I looked myself in the mirror and was like, "You got this." And look now.
Turn left.
Playing that victim role all the time. some gas. This is what I do in real life, actually, which is really interesting. So,
Nisabu_new2
hauling fuel.
said, keep putting yourself down and guess what? You'll always be down, thumbs down.
That's true. That is true. You gotta speak life. You see that car just got in the way? No, we gonna skip this.
Okay, let's find a new route.
Excellent.
Nisabu_new2 said, I learned a little something in rehab called cognitive thinking phase.
What is that? Just like, the way you perceive things, the way you choose to look at them, or the fact that you need to look at it in a different way. Let's go up top.
Nisabu_new2 said, yes, like if I go get high, this and that will happen and so on and so forth.
You want to know what's not funny or interesting about it, but it's kind of enlightening when you relapse or when you tend to fall off. You're chasing that initial high. It it it's worse off when you go back and you realize it's the same thing. It's the same dark space. It's the same everything, and you get tired of that. You definitely get tired of that, and people don't understand. It's like, oh, you relapsed, or you did this, you did that, and how could you? And it's like you're already beating up on yourself, but thanks. So that's why I say, like, to people that haven't been down that lane or experienced that, it's not a good place to be in. But you know,
Nisabu_new2 said, insanity.
yep, expecting to change and doing the same thing. Um, but yeah, that's a tough one. That's definitely.
Hust Lehman 5.0, the architect,
Oh, he's in the
said,
building. We done spoke him up,
salute
y'all.
gang. Hust
We
Lehman 5.0, the architect,
we done spoke
said,
him up.
Nisabu salute.
I was just telling her I was telling you the other day about looking at her story and seeing what she overcame, as far as what she been through and how sweet of a person she was. So That's crazy. But what up, brother? Was telling people,
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. Hustle man waving hand.
telling the people, how you helped me be where I'm at. We was up here chit chatting, pretty stopped through, and Nessa Boo stopped through. So, uh, you know the vibes. But I definitely got something for you. But
Hust Lehman 5.0, the architect. Said. Winergy.
Winergy. Look, you done probably had your limes and everything, man. Well, it's a mild vibe over here, but no, I was giving you a shout out, brother. Letting the people know, we always got the people watching in the background. So, but the real ones pulled up, getting my butt out of debt, so I can go ahead and catch up with you and me too. And giving her a shout out as well. I just paid off one of my loans. I got another maybe 40,000 to go, and I'm done with them jokers. Giving no more money away. I think I've been on live for 2 hours almost. I don't know. What would it say? What the timer say? Yep, two and a half. Yep. I don't know if I'm finna stay on much longer, y'all. Get to work, but I definitely appreciate those that stopped through.
Nisabu underscore new 2. Said. My friend me too face with tears of joy heavy heart exclamation.
Yeah, I'm sure she's somewhere waking up too. Definitely, but 2 hours isn't. I've never done over an hour and a half before, so thank you to those that watched in the background. Thank you to those that have pulled up. It's been cool vibes this morning. But the real ones would like Hustle say, we got that winergy. So salute to the game.
Hust Lehman 5.0, the architect. Said. Face orange TV shape 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 face orange TV shape.
That's what it is. Face orange TV shape. All right, y'all. Well, I will catch y'all around. Hustle hit me up. And until next time.